Good morning and a very happy Easter to any of you that observe Easter in any form. And for those of you that perhaps don't, very happy Monday. And actually, whether you observe the Christian celebration of Easter or not, this time of year is very much about resurrection. About coming out of a period of rest and darkness, inward energy, if you like, and coming out of that restored, recharged, and reinvigorated. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, but in a very particular form. For many of us women. And I was kind of motivated to think about this a little bit by watching a beautiful film on Netflix over the weekend, film called Land with Robin Wright, the actress Robin Wright, and I think she directed it as well. Beautiful story of grief and of resurrection, and a really fabulous metaphor actually for not only the cycles of nature and what we're experiencing right now, but also particularly our female cycles and in particular menopause. And I won't tell you the plot, but very much about the need after a huge trauma and the effects of that instigating a need for the central character, a woman, to really retire and pull back from everything that she's known up until this point. That she needed to be away from people, she needed to be in nature, she needed to be alone and find herself again. And that's exactly what's happening when we go into menopause. And thank you very much for joining me. For those of you who are joining me live, and if you have any comments or questions, do pop them in and I'll do my best to answer them. I hope I'm going to see them, because at the moment Facebook is not behaving terribly well in terms of showing comments during live. So if you are commenting and I don't respond, then I'm not ignoring you. I'm maybe not seeing your comments, but I will get back to you after I've recorded. So anyway, to continue, beautiful metaphor for menopause. And for those of you who've been following me anyway up until now, you'll know that I'm a big advocate of allowing ourselves to rest and to go into darkness, to go into really pulling back from everything that isn't necessary to us in order to turn inward and to be able to get clarity over what needs to go and what needs to stay. And also making space for us to invite new things in, perhaps. Well, hopefully, always. Anyway, so I wanted to actually apply all of this today to one of the many expressions of that turning inward. And that's a feeling that we have no interest in sex. We have a complete drop in our libido, sometimes to the state that it is non-existent, and sometimes it's just a palpable lessening of the need for that kind of physical intimacy. And I wanted to, it can be blamed for all sorts of things. When that happens, it can be confused as a symptom of relationship breakdown for a start. Very much can be confused by our partners in that regard, but also from our own perspective. And don't get me wrong, this period of menopause is an open invitation to review everything, and that turning inward will make us very, very impatient of any bullshit or any kind of involvement with other people's stuff, other people's crap, basically. And whereas we may have tolerated it for years in the past, this period where we need to conserve energy, we need it for our internal changes, will make us very intolerant and impatient of anything that isn't really serving us to pay attention to. And it is all about energy conservation. Because there's so much energy needed often for navigating our way through all these internal changes and the results of the external results of those changes, that anything that isn't strictly necessary, i.e. having sex, will be put to one side. It will be parked because it isn't essential to what is going on currently in our lives. And I should add, actually, that not all women experience this. Some women experience actually the exact opposite, that there's actually an increase in sexual desire during menopause or at certain times during it. So it's by no means a given that this is going to happen to you during menopause, but a lot of women who come to me and who I work with to support do experience that. So that's why I'm talking about it. And I want you to see it as just expressions of energy, basically. And you know yourself, if you're really tired, if you've had a really, really tiring day, often the last thing you want to do is have sex with your husband or your partner. It's just not, you just haven't got the spare energy. And that is, in essence, what goes on over a prolonged period. And because we're also being invited to look at all sorts of other stuff, both physically, emotionally, and spiritually, the more stuff that has been unresolved, suppressed, ignored, put up with, managed, up until this point, the more our energy will be taken up with those things, and therefore the less energy there is for things like libido. It's just not necessary. So the body, are not just our body, but our cells, our whole selves, always will operate a system of hierarchical sacrifice, if you like. So it will put energy wherever it is most needed. And therefore, the things that aren't essential will not get a look in. So if you are really concerned with your drop of sexual energy, then have a look at everything else that's going on. What needs resolving? What needs clearing out? What may need support, extra support? Bring all those things to consciousness and seek support where you need it. Seek advice, do anything at all that you can do to help resolve those underlying issues will free up energy for things like a sex drive. And there are other reasons too. There are very good physiological reasons. For example, the whole of the process of menopause is about calibrating where our energy goes to. And, we are no longer in the business of conceiving and creating life. We're not in that realm anymore, and everything is actually either shutting down, rebalancing, or repurposing in order to reflect that. So actually the whole point of having sex is procreation. Sorry, it may not be very PC, but basically that is the point of it. So in terms of your body's innate intelligence, it will just go, not important. So never mind that to begin with. And as your energy picks up, as you bring things to consciousness, as you're able to resolve things, then that kind of stuff gets picked up again and you can resume where you left off if that's what you want, or you can rebalance and recalibrate that side of things as well. And Yeah, and that's just about my message, really, is to just understand that libido or sexual appetite or sexual need, if you like, is just energy. And if the finite pot of energy that we have is all taken up with a load of stuff that needs sorting out, then those kind of things are become a luxury, and they're not going to be allocated any energy. So if you want to actually return to that in some way or have it rebalanced, then you need to look at all this other stuff over here. And for me, obviously, as a homeopathic practitioner and a QTT practitioner, those two methodologies I find incredibly powerful for my clients and the many, many women who I work with. Homeopathy as a foundation is just unparalleled, I believe, in supporting every aspect of what goes on for us during this time, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And QTT can also be as powerful. It's as gentle as well. It's immediate, and it enables us to really let go of those disempowering beliefs and ideas, values, anything that may still have a charge and is taking a disproportionate amount of energy. So those two things together or separately, wherever you are in your healing journey, if you like, really offer so much support at this time. There are wonderful remedies, homeopathic remedies, sepia being my favourite. And again, if you follow me, you'll know, you probably get sick of me talking about sepia, but it is an amazing remedy. And one of its big hallmarks is a loss of interest in sex. So big hormonal remedy. That's not by any means the only remedy. So I'll stop rabbiting on, but I wanted to just plant that seed today when we're thinking about resurrection and thinking about what we would like to resurrect and what perhaps we don't really want to resurrect. It's an opportunity, an invitation to really fine-tune everything that is part of our lives, and that includes our relationship with sexual intimacy. So if you want to have a chat about this, then do click on the link below. You can book a free call with me. If you'd like to read about one of my offers, which is called the Polaris package, it's a package that I put together specifically with women going through the menopause in mind. It's not exclusively for that, but it's really, really helpful when there's so many changes going on. So there's a link to that in the post with this video as well. And do have a look at the film that inspired me. It's called Land, as I say, and it's on Netflix, and it's a beautiful watch. So have a wonderful Easter Monday, wonderful week, and take care. Bye.